I've been thinking about something that I did very wrong when I became a mother. I made my life entirely about my children, entirely about my family and caring for them and their needs. That is not wrong. But what was wrong is that I did it at the expense of my soul. And that might sound harsh, but so many women do this on a daily basis. Now, when you say at the expense of your soul, it sounds so heavy. Your soul is the essence of who you are. Your soul is your mind. Your soul is your will or your desires, and your soul is your emotions. How many times have you, in order to keep the peace, in order to maintain a certain type of environment, in order to have a certain outcome, you have put what is in your mind on the back burner in order to have what it is that you want or what it is that other people want? How many times have you done that? How many times have you given up your desires, your dreams, or your goals so that others can pursue theirs or in the moment can have their desire? How many times have you suppressed your emotions? How many times have you been angry or sad or frustrated and you push that all the way down and you put on a happy face, or you put on your professional face, or you put on whatever face was required in the moment so that you could do what you were supposed to do? None of those things are bad. It is not a bad thing to put what's in your mind to the side so that you can help someone else. It is not a bad thing to put a specific goal or desire that you have in your heart to the side so that someone else can pursue theirs. It is not a bad thing for you to, in the moment, push down whatever raging emotion is bubbling up inside. Because here's the thing, it is not always going to be convenient or appropriate for your mind, your will, and your emotions to be fully expressed, right? But what is a bad thing is when doing those things becomes a habit, when doing those things becomes a lifestyle, and you now have developed this feeling of resentment, this feeling of hopelessness, this feeling of feeling like a victim while serving. For me, it started with my family. And I don't know, I felt like I have seen I have seen angry women around me. I've seen angry women who are strong because they had to be. And I did not want to be that woman. So I gave and I gave and I gave. But what I didn't do was put back. What I didn't do was store up enough of me so that I could give. So when I reached the point where I felt empty, but I still had to go on, I didn't know what else to do but to go on. When I reached the point where I felt like I was being pulled on for what I didn't have, I had no choice. I felt like I had no choice but to pull away, to preserve my soul. And I don't want you to get to the point where I had to get to, because there was a season when I was doing all the things. I was showing up as woman, as wife, as mother, but I wasn't completely there because I was in a cocoon. I was in a cocoon and I was becoming who I am now. And that was so necessary, because if I kept going the way I was going, there would have been these little seeds of resentment. And that's the reality. And I did not have a an abusive marriage or terrible children or anything like that, but it's the little things. It's those little sacrifices, they add up if you're not doing it from the right place. And I wasn't doing it from the right place. And so when I tell you that a woman needs 3 daily appointments, her appointment with God, her appointment with herself, and then her appointments with others, this is why. This is why. There's something that you are going to be called on to do, publicly or privately, that is going to require a version of you that you need to nurture now. It's not about, oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There is a woman you are required to be. It could be next week, it could be next year, it could be tomorrow. And you are required to nurture that woman now, because if you don't, she will not be able to step into her next season well. And when I say well, I mean well within, because we know how to play the role. We know how to do the thing. We know how to show up at work, show up at home. We know how to do all the things. But who you are when you're doing those things matters. Because the essence of you, the energy of you, your soul and your spirit will be deposited on every single person that you encounter. And that starts with your family. It starts with your friends. It starts with your coworkers. You have so much more influence than you realize. And so it is extremely important that the woman you allow yourself to be and the woman you allow yourself to become is a woman who is going to positively impact every single space. I heard Brooke Thomas once say that we are women of influence, and that really stuck with me. And one of my affirmations is, I am a woman of influence. God works on me, in me, and through me to illuminate and elevate every space I enter. The spaces that you enter as a woman are important and they are impactful. You are not a nobody. You influence someone. And it's important for you to be the influence that you need. You do that through creating a vision for your life. Have you ever looked at a celebrity or someone on social media and you're like, man, I would love to do that. I would love to be that. You can't. You can only be you. You can't be her. And as I said, we influence others, right? We impact others. But one of the most powerful things that you can do as a woman is to create your own personal vision. Can it be influenced by others? Absolutely. When it starts with you, however, you have control over the influences that you allow. And this is so important, because if you just allow yourself to be influenced by anyone and anything, you have no control over who you're becoming. So when you're on these websites, you're on social media, you're scrolling through, wherever you scroll, do not leave yourself behind. I think that We have lost ourselves in proving and doing, and we're not taking the time to look within. It's so important to be progressive and to be visible. And tell me, when someone sees you, when they really see you, when you feel deeply loved and deeply understood, is that not the most beautiful feeling? Can you do that for yourself? Can you see yourself and love yourself and cheer yourself on and cheer yourself up? Because I'm sure that you know that there are moments where you're going to look around and no one's going to be there. It's going to be you and God. And if you haven't been developing and nurturing time with Him during that first daily appointment, it's going to feel strange. And if you haven't been developing and nurturing time with yourself, it's going to feel strange. Because if you've set up a life where the only time you feel seen and the only time you feel significant is when you're having appointments with others, you have now put your vision in the hands of everyone else who has their perception of you. God created you, and He's the one who can show you who you truly are. When you spend time with yourself, you learn yourself. You learn what's important to you. You learn your abilities. You learn what you really want, not what you say you want or what you think people think you should want. You learn how you want to show up. You learn what your favorite color really is. You learn the fragrances that make you feel beautiful. You learn the right skincare to use. You learn that you love Pilates. And when you run, you don't want to run on a treadmill. You want to run outside. You learn these things when you spend time with yourself. And if you're not doing that, you're running on a treadmill and you're exhausted. And it feels like you're losing yourself, and it feels like you're trying so hard and getting nowhere. You are worth the time it takes to discover you. God thought that you were worth creating, and you are worth discovering why. Vision is not just about setting goals and achieving them. It's also about who you're becoming along the way. And if that's important to you, then this is the place for you. I hope this helps. Blessings on your journey. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.